Welcome to Hands-on IT 100 examples. So today's example will focus on moving my virtual machine and its virtual drive to a new location. In my case, it'll be a different folder on the same drive, but might as well be another drive or another host. I will cover this option when we build the second host. So today I will move my VM and its disk to a different folder and see what happens. I will make a lot of mistakes on purpose to show you what breaks and how to fix it. So let's get to it. First, I need to figure out where my disk is located. I need to copy the path to open its location. So just right click. It's in my VMs folder. So let's create a new folder, subfolder, where I'm going to move my VM and my virtual drive. Okay, why not? Windows Server A. It's created outside of virtual hard disk and VM files, just to show you where I'm going to store my files. I'm going to move, and now where am I going to move? I have 2 or 3 options. I can move the entire VM with everything, snapshots, the disk files, and VM data. Okay, so this is my first option. I can move all of the virtual machine's data. I can move the virtual machine with the drive, or I can move the drive itself. You can read. It could be different use cases. You may have 2 different virtual machines and you just need to replace the drive. You need to test something. You need to share drives. We'll cover all these use cases at some point, not right now. So I'm picking the easiest option first. Good. This is my new location for VM files for my disk file and the rest of the data. So if at all possible, try to move your data, your VM, using Hyper-V Manager. Try not to do it manually. I'm going to show you next what happens if I move data manually. It is possible, but you have to know what you're doing. Automatic snapshots kick in the moment the virtual machine is started. Now pay attention. Virtual machine can have different states. Can be running, can be stopped, can be saved. You'll see how important this is when we start troubleshooting virtual machine that was just moved from another location. So it looks like I successfully moved to my VM and its data. I was able to boot. So now we're going to do something else. Okay, here's my drive. It's the new location. That's the subfolder I created a couple minutes ago. And now I'm going to create a new subfolder and move data manually. It's empty. And now I'm pasting in the entire folder, virtual hard disk. That we still inside Windows Server A subfolder where all my data was moved to. Okay, now I'm going to point my VM settings to the new location of my drive. And let's see. Yeah, it's a standard warning. Data may be lost. So just, I beg you, if you mess with the drive, have a backup. You should have a backup if you don't move the drives or virtual machines. But if you start messing with the files, just prepare for the worst, hope for the best. Okay, let's see if we can start. Okay, looks like the VM is up. I'm able to get in. Good. So if I move hard drive location to a different folder, update my virtual machine settings, and run integrity check, seems to be working fine. Yeah, I like to see the entire VM, but you can change your view any way you want. You already know that. Okay, I'm going to create a folder so I know this is the image. When I move this image, I want to make sure this is the image. It's like an identity for me to know this is the right image because I have more than one currently stored inside that folder. Taking a checkpoint or snapshot as usual. Change the name. I guarantee in a day or two you're not gonna remember which one's which, especially when you do some kind of troubleshooting. You you have multiple snapshots, you keep switching them. That's usually how it is. Tunnel vision, one track mind. You're trying to fix the problem. You will keep creating snapshots on top of already automatic snapshots created by the system. Believe me, at some point you're going to lose track of it. So just make sure you rename them. Okay, so I moved the drive, and all of a sudden I'm having this issue. Why is it grayed out? And this. It's not able to find my snapshot um, file. What is going on? Can I edit the disk? Is it going to make any difference? Yeah, I can't do anything. Can't move. Don't panic. If you ever find yourself in this situation, there's always something you can do. How was I able to gain access to this configuration file? Go back and rewatch it. Well, you have to be able to point to the right location if you move the file. Try to run inspection, disk inspection, to make sure there are no errors. Careful with checkpoints. I've said that a million times. Okay, looks like we are able to boot. But let's continue watching. Now, because of, yep, I see my folder, so that's the right um, desktop profile, disk, VM. Look at the state. Okay, it's saved. Okay, then I see this. All right, let's see what we can do. I'm going to click on anything I can. This is no good. Yeah, let's see if we can look at the drive. Nope. We can run inspection, but that's about it. Let's click on the drive itself rather than on checkpoint, individual checkpoints. Let's see if I can start. I can't. Yeah, it's one of those precious moments I mentioned in my previous video. You start sweating. Okay, that's the idea of your virtual machine. Something is wrong, clearly. It's not booting up. Let's apply different checkpoints. Maybe this is going to solve the problem. Nope. So what is going on? And the more important question, how do we fix it? Murphy's Law usually happens. Whatever can go wrong is going to go wrong, and it's always going to happen in the worst possible time when everybody needs access to the virtual machine. Okay, so we've explored this. I'm clicking around in desperation, hoping something will fix it. Pay attention to the state of this virtual machine. There's a lot of things you cannot do when the machine is in a saved state. First, you have to turn it off. Then you can start making changes, which makes sense because it's saved, which means it's still running technically. That didn't help. That didn't help. Still didn't help. I am clicking on purpose on the same thing, hoping that something will change. Same thing. Okay. I see two folders. Let's see if I can delete those folders, if that's going to make any difference. In VMware, there are folders with LCK, which stands for lock. It's locked, but that doesn't work. It doesn't work like that in Hyper-V. But let's delete them. Let's see if this makes any difference. Nope, still the same issue. It's still pointing to that um, checkpoint snapshot file. Nope, it's still looking for the file. So let's see if I can revert. Look at the state. It just changed from saved to off. Now I can change it. So I changed the state from saved to off. Now I have access to internal configuration and I can point to the right location of where my drives are stored. Let's see if that fixes the problem. Yes, it did. My point is do not panic and have a good backup. And final check, make sure I see my folder. I can see it. Good. Yeah, that happens once in a while. It's okay. Every time you change the location of your disk or your VM, run SFC scan now and just make sure there's no corruption. And again, we have the same problem. So I manually moved this virtual machine disk with my snapshots. I just want to mention when I moved my virtual machine using built-in Hyper-V manager, I didn't have any problems. So the question is it possible to move manually? Of course it is. But you have to know what you're doing and you need to know your expectations. Okay, remember what if you delete all snapshots, what will happen? Yeah, it will merge, but now when you keep getting error messages left and right, let me finally shut down the virtual machine and delete. I did that already. And let's see if I can start. Let's try again. Again, the state. Pay attention to this. It's very easy to overlook it. Okay. Now I should be able to boot my virtual machine. Okay, so get in the habit of backing up your data before making changes, drastic changes. Try to use built-in, or at least Microsoft approved tools for managing virtual data. And please subscribe if you want me to continue uploading videos. That's about it. See you in the next video. Have a good day.